Hey, y'all, welcome in. Hey, Chew, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. I haven't been in a lot of people's chats lately, honestly. I've been too busy. All right.
Sorry, I just
It's all good. All right, give me a minute, y'all. It's a day. It's a day like I told y'all. This month is just a month that I would love to sleep through without losing any of the time. And I've been dealing with a lot of keyboard warriors today. No, we're not going to bash anyone. I am not going to give tick for tack, but it's got my blood pressure up still a bit. So just give me a second, y'all. I was so enthralled in today that I overlooked the fact that I set this time up for 3:30. That a way we can close out earlier. Not out so much earlier, but just a little bit before we go into Dawn's. That's where the cell is today, y'all. Sorry, I really feel the weight right now, and that void that's between the weight and your soul, and I'm really just trying to shake it off. And then I had someone text me, and I don't give my personal number out to many people for a great deal of reasons. But I don't have them in my contact info, and it was kind of scripted, meaning.
Hi, Leonore Reacts.
Alright, so it's a scam. So the way I do that, because it's an iPhone, I just report them. I just needed to make sure it wasn't anybody, that I'm part of their support system, because, yeah, I'd have Mr. coming out, and I would do what I needed to do. So, anyways, y'all, I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball. I apologize. My mood isn't more chipper. It's just it's a day. It's a day, and Mister, can you go over to Scooter Renee LLC's? I don't want you to share her link. I want you to share her short video.
Okay.
In the chat, y'all, we're gonna do a giveaway here, and we're gonna probably do it in the next 5-10 minutes.
It'll take me just a second because I'm driving.
However, it does require participation, not in my chat. It does require participation in the steps. Mister is going to drop a link for Scooter Renee LLC's short video this morning. I think
is it the Flowers in the Valley?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Flowers in the Valley. Today would have been, it still is, but it would have been Scooter Renee's mama's 79th birthday. And for any of y'all who have faced loss, whether it's recent, hey Lenora.
You can't share a short.
You can't? I wonder if I can.
Like when you go into hers, you click on the 3 dots, it just comes up to send feedback.
All right, so that might be a device issue. We're gonna see if y'all are sub to Scooter Renee. She put out a video this morning, "Flowers in the Valley." Is that what it's titled? It's her new short.
Flowers in the Valley, Mom's Birthday, and hashtag.
So the hashtag, I'll give it to y'all. You don't have to watch the whole thing. The hashtag for today over at Scooter Renee's. It's a special request, and this is free other than y'all's time and energy. I know you did, Kathy.
I figured out how to share it.
Mister just figured out how to share it. Thank you, Mister.
Yeah. So it takes me a little bit too. You actually got to be into it and playing it.
Sorry. My mama's death anniversary.
You got it, Jessica. Month. Awesome.
Thank you, Jessica. So, Jessica, I got some news for you. You might have got an email, but if you didn't, it would have been from Pirate Ship. You have a package that's leaving the Flint Hills. Should be today, but if their truck was already full, it'll go out tomorrow.
It should go out today. The guy said that they haven't even loaded a full truck down yet. So.
I managed to get one gift giveaway, monthly box giveaway in the mail, and it was Jessica's, so couldn't do everybody's.
We appreciate everybody, but stuff like this right here, when I was struggling to find out how to share it, she beat me to it. And she keeps the chat moving.
So I haven't in almost 5 years been the daughter of anybody. Sorry. Told you the emotions were deep. So death anniversaries can hit. In some years, it's not as bad, but sometimes you get hit by a Mack truck. Even as prepared as you try to be for those moments. And today's Scooter Renee has had a special request in her short, and that's if people will come onto her short and do hashtag Happy Birthday Mom. It all has to be one word. If you can't type, I get it, but if you just go over there and hit the thumbs up, so that would count too. Okay? Sorry, y'all. I really don't like being this raw, but it is what it is. Keyboard warriors really, really great. And if I didn't have a face or an name to put with it, it probably wouldn't bother me as bad as it does today.
Well, I went and did it.
Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and chat. She'll have more thumbs up. I can assure her of that later for sure, because all my mamas that are here on the tube, because of how we started YouTube, I know they will. I put it also on another platform. So, it doesn't have to be instant or whatever, but if you want a giveaway, it will go out no later than next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next. You know what? I know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give away the largest sunflower box that we've given away other than privately. Usually I do it for those who, the carrier screwed up their stuff, but not that we have many of those. Actually, I only have 4 that have ever had it. Thank you, Jessica. And Jessica, if you haven't shared Scooter Renee LLCs on your community channel, community page, if you do that for me, please, girl, I'll send you something extra. I know you don't do things to receive things, but you have a huge following. People pay more attention than you realize. Sorry, y'all, I'm really trying to shake those emotions off. I chose joy. What does it mean for me? It means in order to experience joy, I have to experience all the emotions. You don't get to select them, right? So there's some days where things happen. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it. My emotions that are there is the fact that I can understand.
And Myra shared Scooter Short. Myra's got a huge following too, so
I can understand that pain. Without her saying anything, I could identify it immediately. It's something that's different than anything else. It's different than losing your dad. Doesn't matter what type of relationships, honestly. Losing your mother and you being a woman, you feel that physical separation. So and then you feel that chemical reaction.
So anyone that's male that's lost their dad, let me know if that feeling's the same way, the opposite way. Because it makes sense.
The only reason why I know that...
I still got both of my parents God willing. I haven't been through that part of my life yet.
That's why I stick on
I
you
don't have grandparents
every
anymore.
week.
I've lost every bit of my grandparents. That's why your grandma isn't Steph's grandma. It's grandma.
It's grandma, and she's
Because
grandma
she's
to
my
so
grandma.
many people. Y'all, I vape, and you're likely going to see that while we're on my channel. It's my coping skill.
At least it doesn't stink things up.
I'm aware, but yeah, it doesn't stink anything up. My argument, not that it was really an argument, but more of poise when it comes to the medical community, because I put the cigarettes away. But then they're like the vaping, and the vaping keeps me heart-wise at a level 3 for the next 10 years for a stroke or a heart attack. Here's the thing. If I quit this, I go down to a 1. I will never be at 0 because I have a
predisposition to it.
Yeah.
Just
not
like
just
me.
lifestyle choices, but genetics as well.
Just like me. That's the reason why I had a
So-
Widowmaker at 39.
Well, it wasn't just the genes. It was the hard life that you had before you gave it all up,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, yeah, I posed to him. I said,
Hi, Robin.
it may not be safer, right? But at least I don't smell like an ashtray. Now, I'm not throwing stones. Y'all, I smoked for over 2 decades.
I still have a cigarette here or there when this just doesn't cover it and I'm that stressed. I've
Well,
got a pack of cigarettes and I go and have a cigarette.
That day not too long ago,
When
what
I walked
we was
back into Walmart. And,
yeah, I was in Walmart and you walked in and I looked at you and I looked at you and I just asked, I wasn't scolding him because,
that was
and
a
I
rough
said,
day.
did you have a cigarette? And he's like, yeah. And I'm sorry if bringing any of this up affects you, y'all, negatively. Because Maya did lose her mama not long ago. And if you've caught any of her unboxings, post Good Friday, there was at least one. And, she mentions the fact that we're friends. And not that it's a huge secret, I just never wanted anyone to, influence our friendship in a bad way. Because people just don't like either one of us, or one but not the other type of thing. But she says, so Biden Spaces Myra Lane, for anyone unfamiliar, says my mom died on Good Friday. Her funeral was Mother's Day weekend. And her internment was Memorial Day weekend, which was also the day before her birthday. And see, that's the thing, y'all. That's why a lot lately, Mr. has been packaging y'all's packages. I only caught John's unboxing in the last few days. I was aware it was there, but I don't like to have my attention divided and interrupted when I'm trying to focus on something. And so I didn't watch it until the other night. And, I don't think she said anything through all 3 boxes being undone. But my tape was on I think pretty much on every item that is sent to her. And if I package y'all stuff, this isn't throwing stones, because Mr. is working usually 10-hour days. Then he's coming home and is usually modding in less than an hour. I'll read Black Widows here in a second. Anyway, aside from that, he packaged really well. And I might have mentioned something the last couple of weeks. Hey, make sure, but usually when he comes in to package y'all stuff, he's already put in 10 hours a day and probably modded and or been anything think he needs to be locally, and so he's been pulling my slack, and that's the reason why the stickers have been on lately more than not, and I apologize for that. So Scooter,
Starting next week's shipments, there won't be
there won't be
stickers or tags on anything.
So anything from this week on, not everything that's already put, but from here on. And thank you, Black Widow. I will read what she put. Black Widow says Scooter will be fine. She will turn it around and realize how blessed she was to have had a great mom, and hopefully she will smile and find some peace today. Undoubtedly she will. Her and I were texting back and forth throughout the morning as time allowed. And of course, my morning good morning text to her was my steps for the morning, because she's my accountability partner, even on the day that's very difficult for her to face.
You beat me out of bed this morning. You were already functioning completely when you come back there and made sure I was moving.
When I came out, was I not already dressed and ready for the day? For the most part.
Sorry, my body was just saying extra sleep.
Thank you, Myra. Yeah. Scooter will be fine. She will. She has had a moment, and it's something that will catch each of us. Doesn't matter how long. We're going to do a back porch event. I don't know when. It's got to be soon, so it may even happen after live, but later in the evening. So it's been something. If y'all aren't available, you could go back and watch, but we just got to cover some stuff. Not even business, just, we're all going through something. And from one day to the next, whether it's with our partners, if we have partners, I can't shake mine. I like them most days. I'm going through a change of life, y'all. So it's navigating it, right? But it is so much more than me. It's sending a professional-ish, meaning, not a professional wrote it, but someone that didn't go to college, email out of courtesy and respect, and it being twisted around and doing the tick for tack, and then having to roll that off because it's not meant for you anyway, even if it came to your email. It's realizing, hey, my friend's struggling today because it's her mother's 79th birthday. It's getting through Mother's Day knowing that your friend that lives over 1,000 miles from you is experiencing a pain that you're familiar with on some level. And there's nothing you can do except be there remotely and virtually as possible. It's finding the Black Widow's web here on YouTube. I know it sounds corny and cheesy. I promise I didn't plan it that way. I'm just rolling in the moment. And going, what's up with that chick? Right? What's up with that chick? She's got her name for a reason. Who is she? What makes her tick? And then realizing, hey, I kind of like her. And then realizing, hey, I actually do like her. Thank you, Jessica. It's having that anxiety before you hit the life, because you might see something that might offend somebody. And not because you're afraid, but I mean, some people are like fools in a china closet. I mean, if you offend them, you offend the whole burrito, and they're not even Hispanic. That's a term I learned growing up, y'all. We grew up in Southeast Colorado. We were the minorities in school. But, I mean, we was family with a lot of people and still are I mean, the ones that have made it out of the
So-
addictions of
So I
prison.
figured out Black Widow. Because of what year she was born, she's part of the boomers.
You didn't. She was born the same year Brian.
Yeah, she's part of the boomers. Well, that's right there in that 4 or 5 year gap that happens.
Yeah.
So that explains why I get along with her, because Gen X and boomers usually get along really well.
Right, Robin? That lady is all right. It's that Black Widow lady, and she is. And I'll tell y'all, she is a contender. What you see is what you get. It's not like when we're in her back room, like, you know, she's a different person. She's not. It's why I enjoy her channel. It's why I enjoy selling on her channel.
All our collabs are kind of that way.
Right.
When you talk to them in the back room, they're not putting on a show when they go on.
No,
they're
it's
just themselves. You know, Scooter's that way, Selena's that way, Black Widow, Dawn.
Two guys are that way.
They don't change. I mean, yeah, we all kind of have a hoopla that we do when we're online because, you know, you're trying to run a business, but it's still the same person, the same.
Right. I mean, if I could do YouTube without having the personal side, I don't know that anyone would be following my channel, honestly. With that said, there's that delicate process of because we do this, you know, 99% in real time.
Yeah, not a problem, Jessica. She'll read it here in a second.
What I miss?
You know, it's something if you need to talk or whatever, you know, you have ways of getting a hold of us.
Okay, Jessica, I'll message you this evening after I'm done with Dawn's. That way, you know, my attention isn't being.
That explains, though, like Robin. We get along really well with Robin. Black Widow's 2 years older than she is, so she falls into the boomers. Gen X and boomers usually get
y'all.
along because we were raised by the boomers.
Oh no! Don't apologize,
Yeah,
Jessica.
don't apologize, Jessica.
You're good. And if it's something urgent, I could certainly, you know, step off and we could chat, and Mr. will take over. But if it's just to discuss the special medication and everything that goes with that, then it would just be easier after I'm done with the evening, so that way I don't have to be like, hey girl, sorry, I gotta go. And we're like in the middle of, you know, a huge combo. But yeah, don't apologize. And Chew got Kathy's notification. Awesome. And that's awesome, Robin. You know, let's see. Where's Tennessee? Oh, I know where Tennessee is. But where's Tennessee in comparison to Mississippi? Because, of course, Robin's package went today. So, obviously, someone knew that someone's package did not meet yesterday's cutoff for the truck. It was Robin's. But Robin's like family, literally, not just here on the
So, Tennessee to...
All right, so you know where Louisiana? Look at me for a second. Okay, Louisiana is right here. This is Louisiana. Here's Mississippi. She's closer to that state line than
go get
Florida.
your soda out of the...
Oh yeah, I
freezer.
forgot my soda in the freezer.
So give me just a second here. So
I was wondering, is it like due north?
pretty much. So you'll have to kind of come this way so you can see. So
All right, so yeah,
there's
there's
Mississippi,
Mississippi. So
and right here's Tennessee. It's the wedge above it.
So Tennessee's right above.
Yeah.
Shoot, girl, you close to her. I should have known that, Black Widow. She goes to the Mississippi borders, Tennessee. Yeah, so Robin, everything you purchased this week went in this week's shipment.
She's straight up from New Orleans.
How far is New Orleans from you, Robin?
You're overthinking this. When we go to New Orleans for our trip that we're planning, we're going to go down and hang out. We got to drive through right where she's at. We'll just plan it with her, and we'll pick her up on the way, and we'll just do a 3.
What? Go to
Go to Tennessee and then on down.
So stop in Tennessee. So we'll have to grab Selena for sure, because that would
We'll
be
just
fun.
have a fun trip out of it.
Drop down in the Mississippi, right?
Yep.
We could then steal Robin too. Y'all, we have big vehicles. What can I say?
We use minivans.
Yeah, we use minivans. And then we could go to New Orleans, and oh my goodness. That would
3-hour
be fun.
drive to New Orleans from her.
Bet.
Yeah. That would be a fun trip. I mean, we got to get, moved first and organized. So I want you to reach up in the back of that basket and grab that measuring tape. I just saw it hanging right there off the edge.
Okay, that one's jacked up. That's the one I sourced, right?
Yeah. I just saw the edge of the tape hanging out. There we go.
And thank y'all who went over to Scooter and Knees and did her hashtag. It was a simple request from her. And, it's her way, I think, of, including everybody. And still having some sense of fun. So, I'm on this device really quick because I need to open up YouTube, make sure my volume's down, and then we're going to go over Scooter and A LLCs.
Gotta love our fur babies. Ellie is laying crossways in the hall.
60 views, and I don't know what her views were before we came live, but that wasn't the point, and I appreciate it, y'all. Y'all are
We got
awesome.
you, Jessica. She'll message after we're done with Dawn tonight, and we'll sit and
Can you drop the link for the job form? Lenora would like it.
yeah.
And then our sale will actually be over on Dawn's channel this evening. Every other Wednesday, unless something comes up, we're over there. So this week we're on her channel. Next week she'll be over here on ours.
The only time that usually switches around is if we have to travel and we're going to sell from the vehicle because we've done it.
Yeah. And then we go to Dawn's channel. That'll wait if we get kicked off of StreamYard due to reception issues. It doesn't affect the whole auction. It just affects us. So
All right, there's our drop form. And I will drop Dawn's channel before we get off.
I will message you for sure, girl, after the show. So.
And then we'll see how the mood is when we get off of Dawn's, and we may just jump right into a back porch event.
I'm thinking, and that was the plan initially when I got up this morning. I'm like, you know what?
Back porch events work better on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night just because of my work schedule.
Right, and I was thinking, I could still draft tonight, possibly, because I've got to get back in that routine. Hey, Steph sells stuff by the seashore. Welcome in, girl. Girl, I was thinking about you the other day. Mister, I had a burning question. I was going to email her, but then, I've been going a million different directions with Ellie being sick. Do I have something for Steph sells stuff by the seashore?
It's actually right here. It was one item, and we packaged it and everything.
Right, and then I overlooked invoices for. Dude, it's been long enough. I have no idea.
Well, I don't know without opening the box because it's a box in a bag.
So, I'm not going to show the contents. I just want to. Steph, are you? Do you
Awesome, Lenore. Thank you.
I've been going all week, so much so that I totally forgot that I needed to ask Mister because he's the one that in the packaging
A
department.
surprise, LOL.
I'm still undoing it so I can tell what it is.
So I used stickers on
You're
all four sides to
you're-
hold the box closed.
you're fine. Girl, you still interested in this? Do you know what it is?
You may need a knife or something. Just score that sticker.
I'll just score the sticker. What in it one?
I mean, it's been a while on that one.
It's probably like the end of April or the beginning of May. Be my guess.
I hadn't seen her come back in her chat, and
All right. Well, Mister really packaged this. I thought you hated using my saran wrap.
I do. I think hers was the package I decided I didn't like it.
All right, girl, not a problem. I'll invoice you. You let me know when you want to invoice, because it's really on me. But aside from that, oh yeah, now I remember.
There's two little figurines.
The two figurines. Yes. So, okay. I invoice Thursday and Friday. Yours will be the first invoice tomorrow that I do, girl. And I apologize for that.
I'll have to go look and find that one in the notebooks.
We're going to repackage this because obviously I'm just kind of
Yeah.
haphazardly getting it all wrapped back up. And this must have been when I was out of stuff because, yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, we'll get it taken care of, girl, and we'll get it in
Awesome.
the mail to you soon. Thank you for coming in today because who knows when I'd have remembered it again.
I was
Kinda
reminding
crazy
you
with
there
this.
for a little bit, like every week.
Well-
I was reminding you. You kept saying, "I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it," and then
Well, yeah,
finally
I think
just
it was
kinda
the
quit
week after.
reminding you.
The week after or something.
Yeah,
I
they
was like,
didn't have her box and split that.
I'll reach out to her or something, and yeah, life's been happening in real time. So, not an excuse, just an explanation.
But you know, whenever something like that
And then
happens,
thank
people
you.
don't have to worry about it getting resold. Like,
Well,
you know, 'cause it
it's
usually ends up packaged and then.
well, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I've still got a couple packages here from last month that we haven't busted open yet.
Yeah.
So usually it's just communicating. I've got to reach out to a reseller that I was a buyer for. I seen them live the other day, and I'm like, shoot, did I pay them? And not because I seen an invoice, because if the invoice is in PayPal, I pay it. I just do. But I'm like, dude, I don't remember doing an unboxing from that person, and I knew I got some stuff. And I know they're having issues with their PayPal or have been experiencing issues. We've experienced a few, but that's why we also typically I do, unless while I'm still invoicing, I get a notification that the person viewed it. When I invoice, typically I go in and email the link.
You want in here? You got to lay down.
Dude, Hank, here's your hoodie. Come on. Hey.
Petey.
Petey. My senior dog has been having issues coping with our big dog being sick. There you go, buddy.
Well, I think the realization that night when we came home without her,
Without
when she was
her.
in the hospital, that
Yeah, because they had never been apart. And Lenore, thank you for
filling out the job.
for filling out the job form. And y'all, it's crossed my banner. Because we've been shifting what? Well, it's been over a month. It's been closer to 2 months. of not building boxes. For one, we don't have the space to hold long, 30 days to 60 days or more. But aside from that, it makes errors happen more frequently if we're not on a routine. So I invoice only through PayPal. I invoice Thursday evenings because we do sell either on our channel or on others' channels. And tomorrow, specifically, I'm going to adjust our time because we actually have a pop-up at 1 p.m. tomorrow with Selena as a guest, us as a guest over on, and I say guest, but I guess we were told, I don't
You're
guess.
regulars now.
We was told last week we're regulars.
We're
so
wound up in that web tight now, so we're kind of out of luck.
hey, it's not a bad channel to be
No,
connected
it's not.
with.
I actually enjoy.
Black Widow.
We have a lot of fun.
Her, Scooter Renee, Selena. And there's some other channels, but we'll just stop there for now.
And then Sunday we have the Christmas in July sale on her channel.
Yeah.
And
I
there'll
need
be
to
everything.
update.
It won't just be Christmas items. There'll be everything.
I need to update my community page with like where we're going to be at and all that good stuff. Talk about this stuff like I got the extra time. I'm the one that's doing the inputs and all that, and I'm complaining, just explaining.
Yeah, I can trade you. You can package, and I'll do all the paperwork side. I just have to learn the system, so the first week would be
Dude,
rough.
remind me how many companies that you worked for that sent you to business classes?
Pizza Hut. I've been to 2 for Pizza Hut
Mm-hmm.
because I was back in the old days and then newer.
Right.
McDonald's. So 6 to 7 companies that I've worked for that I've been sent to their management business schools.
Did you count Swans?
Oh, I didn't count Swans. And
I was
that's the
going to
big
say, did you count
That's the
Swans?
big one.
Because that one was a game changer. That was more like attending a
one.
university.
Swans was interesting, and I have issues. I don't pressure sell. Even when I did door-to-door sales with Swans, I'm not a pressure salesman.
No, but Swans proved, at least to us, while, before we were addicts, the importance of having a routine and sticking to it. I had a life-threatening emergency, and back then he did not have a rolling cell phone. So if he wouldn't have stayed on his intended route, they wouldn't have known where to find him.
So Schwann's sales thing is you're going to walk up to someone's door and I'm going to carry this. And I'm going to walk
Here,
up.
I'm going to move so you can do this.
I'm going to walk up to the door and I'm going to be like, hi, how are you doing today? Hey, I've got this great item. I think you really would enjoy it. I think you ought to try it. Here's our book. Go ahead and look to and find other stuff. But can we go ahead and put one of these on today? I'm not a pressure salesman. I would rather just be like, this is what I've got. Anyone want it? Cool. Sold, not sold.
But in that moment, dude, can you tell me what it tastes like?
Well, that was the other part about Schwann's training was it wasn't just you were trying to sell this bulk box. They broke their stuff down to what each meal would cost per person. So like you buy this bag of frozen vegetables. Well, you're only going to use a quarter of that bag. So you take the bag and divide it by a quarter, blah, 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 and do all that. And then that's how you sold it was, well, this box of steaks, this bag of vegetables, this thing of potatoes is going to cost you $40. But when you split that out to how many meals you're going to get out of it, it only works out to about $8 a meal. And how do you beat that? You can't get that at the store. And that's the way they trained. And it was, I take all the information I get and just consume it. I've been told by many places that consuming the information was the big deal for me. Was the idea that they knew that if they needed an answer a year down the road, I was the person to ask because I would just take all that information in and use it. So But yeah, I've been through a lot of different management trainings. I've managed for a lot of different companies.
This break was sponsored by Mr. Alright, so when I have a device that's actually fully functional. Oh, FYI, if we got resellers in here, of course, there's a few I could probably just drop an email to and ask them if they have it in their inventory. Does anyone have does not have to be Apple-based product, but like I was going to say iPhone, that's not where an iPad
tablet that works good.
Yeah, and like an iPad or tablet in your inventory. Hey, Kraken Mary, welcome in. That y'all have in your inventory right now that works for listing. Because I do have eBay, and I do have one item listed. I've got several to list this weekend. That's what I've been working on each day in the morning. The only thing I have Apple-wise Black Widow is my personal phone, and that's because my oldest soldier wanted us to have Apple phones because of the features it gives and the FaceTime, because they were
has the best face-to-face app there is.
Because they were on deployments. So that's how I got started with Apple products. I will tell you, I do enjoy like some of the quality stuff from Apple, but I mean,
the one thing I have figured out with Apple phones is most of the Samsung phones break or quit working or start having major problems within a year of getting them.
Right.
And the Apple phones, these were already 2 to 3 years old when we got them from the kids. You know. So.
I mean, our first Apple phones were like refurbished ones or something.
They were already obsolete.
Or obsolete. And then these ones, of course, you got one from one of our kids in combat boots, and the other kid.
The oldest one, and you got the.
Yeah, and then our youngest one in combat boots, when they upgraded their phone, I got their. And of course, I mean, they didn't just upgrade to upgrade. They upgraded because they
were out
retired.
in the field and got it full of dirt.
Right, but I mean, it still works. So,
yeah, if we ever have to buy our own iPhones, I'll switch back to Samsung because.
I mean, I already have lined up a new to me laptop. My uncle, career military.
I need to sit down and go ahead. Sorry, I was thinking.
Train left the station.
Your career military uncle.
Oh. One of his things is sell some stuff. I would, but we're just networking right now, Kraken. I sell over on Dawn's. Let's see, what are we bringing today? We're bringing some of these. Yeah, it wasn't enough that I sold Mr. Lanyards. One of them may be coming back to the tube to be sold again. That was one of them, and I don't know if it was a PayPal thing or if they filled out my job form the wrong way. But because they filled out my job form and I haven't emailed them except...
That's whose box that is. Okay.
Yep. But we just give some time. I managed to cancel invoices.
A lot of that's just so you don't constantly keep getting the email from.
Yeah, because people get this misconception that it's us resellers that are hitting the reminders on PayPal. When they send y'all
hey Maritza,
a reminder, we get an email that's similar, but it says, hey, so-and-so hasn't even viewed their stuff, and it gets ridiculous after a while. The amount that PayPal sends out, that, yeah. I was working on it cracking. It will be there this evening. We were actually, Mister's been running packages as we can, get them taken care of and doing all that good stuff. And I was working on your invoicing today because he got those packed down and got an inventory of both boxes. That a way if anything crazy happens during the shipment, then we both know what was in each box, and then we can file with the carrier or whatever if we had to do it that way. Not that we've ever had to, but I did have a package. Me as a buyer come to me, ran over from the carrier, and no label on it. Whoever it was, I know you're just messing with me, and thank you for distracting me. Empaths have their ability to, sellers have to pay their bill just like everyone else. I send the reminders. I will typically send one reminder. If it's necessary, but typically I haven't had a whole lot of problems since I went to sending invoice links after until today. I selling on YouTube, you end up selling to your friends, whether you've met them in real life, meaning in person, face to face, or not. And I will tell you, no one is exempt from being canceled if their invoice is outstanding, unless they've communicated. If someone's done the solid to communicate, that's different. But we're just talking no communication. And it's a responsibility for both people. Like me figuring out the other day, I was like, I seen this reseller live, and then of course they sell with others that I'm involved with, and I'm like, I don't remember doing an unboxing of theirs. Did I pay their invoice? I knew I hadn't seen it, so I actually went back through all my activity, all my email, just to be sure.
That took a while.
And it's not. So, but I do know that particular reseller was having issues with their PayPal sending notifications out. So, I would still think that it would still ding, the other person.
Myra got our last package we sent to her today. Not the one we just sent, because obviously it takes a week to get there. So it would have been a week before that.
Do not remember what was in it.
I don't either.
Sorry, y'all.
Jessica said you could read them later.
No, this isn't from Jessica. This is from someone that we all love and admire. I'm just not going to read it because it's personal. But I can't see it all.
And hi, Crafty Witch.
So I sent a book, and she sent me a book back. But and it obviously is, from one person to another. So it's all good. She'll be all right. And I'll be all right.
Yeah, she won't read it here.
Oh, she talking about the text?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even open it. I did see it, though. I'm talking about someone else. And then Myra got her package today, and she does have another one in circulation. Crafty Witch. By chance, did
you go to the post office?
Did you go to the post office today?
She said it either be today or tomorrow.
I'm just harassing you, girl, in a fun way. Yeah, Crafty lives over in Colorado. And I wouldn't say smack in the middle of the Rockies, but she definitely has a beautiful view of Garden of the Gods. We'll just leave it there. And it's my favorite place in the world, but aside from that, We sent her a package, and in between that, she ordered some more stuff.
Then the package came back.
Then the first package came back before we sent the second one out. Right?
Yeah. So we held the second
So
one.
we held the second one to see what was wrong. We did
Packaged all that, sent it again.
packaged it again, sent it. Mind you, we did speak with the post office. We adjusted whatever, sent it back, and it came back again.
Yeah, and we've got a good rapport with you, Kraken. I mean, as long as there's communication, we work with about anybody.
Yeah, it's the not knowing and sitting here and being an overthinker and all that. I'm very guilty of all that. Anyways,
She's just trying to move rooms around before hubby gets home.
ooh, good luck with that. Be careful, girl. Be careful. Yeah, and I mean, I know you wouldn't be doing it unless you could. I'm just saying, don't push the envelope too far. Jason will be home, and he won't mind helping, I'm sure. I mean, if he's anything like Mister, he'll give you that look like, really? And be like, yeah. But the great news is our post carrier kind of figured out what the issue was, but kind of didn't. So he told us the way he would send it. And it's a good thing I was like, wait, hold up. Because I was like, nah, I'm gonna reach out to my customer. And that's what I did with her. I was like, hey, screenshot, take a picture, whatever. Just show me how something that's come in recently, how it was addressed and how it got to you. And she did. So FYI, if anyone ever has issues, such a thing, right? Just have whoever you're trying to send something to take a picture of some mail, right? It doesn't have to have any identifying info, just how the address is written out. But it hasn't come back. But she has life going on, and yeah, the holiday. We just want to make sure that it don't end up in someone else's hands. Because at least here in the village, it does happen. Hi. What time are we at? Almost 4:30. And and she says not today, she's going tomorrow, she promises. And then
You're good.
yeah, I'm sorry, it's kind of off day. And I can't blame one thing over another. It's all happening in real time, and there's little time to do a reset and then be all smiles and perkly, and we'll get it together.
See you later, Jessica. Thank you.
See you later, Jessica. I still can't. I'm probably tighter today. See, yesterday.
Does it feel like the bind's out now? It's just muscle tightness, or
it's definitely muscle, but the muscle's actually in my back more. It's all right. We're good. It's something I've been dealing with for 22 years.
it's kind of like my back.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Kraken. Kraken put, he don't usually have prone pain, but sometimes he needs to be able to break up those payments. And, as long as we know that going in of, hey, it's usually not an issue. And when life happens and it's like, hey, can I pay something and catch the rest of it the following week? We can even make stuff work that way with people. We've done it multiple times. It's just the ghosting, whether you're a buyer or a seller, it just makes it rough for everybody across the board, honestly. But that goes back to just communication, right, Kraken? And I mean, for the most part, either you or Kraken Mary are very typically right on it as far as communicating. So, yeah, there's a few. I wouldn't know as far as But I think for the most part, I mean, anyone I've seen on your channel, but over here
Over here, Petey.
now.
Look, he gave me out of the corner of his eye because I
Uh-huh.
walked around the cottage.
Back on your hoodie. Back on your hoodie.
On your hoodie, or you can leave. Go.
Go hang out in the living room.
You got all the comfortable places to lay down out there.
Anyway, yeah, I think anyone I've ever seen on your channel, as far as resellers, I think are pretty. I don't think I've had anyone that's ever shown on the Black Widow's web that haven't communicated. You know. So, I only have a few, as a question as far as that category.
And I've got some really good stuff to help her neck, but I think it's buried in a drawer I can't quite access right now.
Mm-hmm.
What
was it? 2000? Yeah, July 2003. I think it was the 9th, actually, which is what today? Give me a second. Actually, it was. It's crazy because it was 6 days after my ex-father-in-law had his car accident that was almost fatal, that I had my near fatal car accident. And of course it broke my neck and all that good stuff. That was a few months before Mr. and I got together. And usually I can put a brave face on and get through whatever I need to, whether it's on the screen or not. But the muscles affected are actually in my back. That's causing this one. So it's just making me feel like I've lost more range of motion since yesterday. So.
But then now we're to a muscle, which means they're freaked out because it popped back in.
We'll get through it, y'all. It's something I usually don't bring up a whole lot. Just because, most people I know live with chronic pain, just to different levels for different reasons. And that's definitely got me in my fillers too.
Yeah, that's what I've got. It's in a drawer I can't access right now. I've got to dig to get to it. The Voltaren cream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he has some. That's what he typically.
That's what I use on my lower back.
I have to be careful with certain things because of allergies and reactions.
Well, Voltaren you have to be careful of because it's an NSAID.
Oh, how's that gonna?
NSAID.
All right. So does the cream work like ibuprofen? Because if it does, I can't take it.
Not necessarily ibuprofen. It's more along the lines of a topical. The other NSAID, the one that's supposed to, you take one pill a day. That's over the counter.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of what it's called. I don't know. I could probably drop a message to the medical team just to verify.
Of course, I can create my own balm. I've got all the stuff to do it. I've got peppermint and eucalyptus and all that stuff. I can put in some oil carrier and then let my magic hands do their thing. I got a smirk out of it, and that was kind of my goal with the magic hands thing.
I mean, your hands are magic in the sense of, but you definitely didn't go to school to become a massage therapist either.
I couldn't do it. My arthritis is so bad that it'd just be a waste of money and time to go to school for it.
Right.
And
yeah, it does work for arthritic.
Naproxen.
Naproxen, thank you. I could see it. I just could not
And what's
form
on
the
a
word.
topical version of that? It's supposed to be put on once. You're not
So-
supposed to continuously.
So
make one.
instead of naproxen, but in the
in a prescription
in
form?
a prescription form, that's what I'm on for pain. It's a non-narcotic.
It's interesting when you go into a hospital setting or even a doctor's office and you're complaining about chronic pain when you're a recovering addict.
It took me 2.5 years to talk to my doctor about pain management because of me being a former addict. Because, I mean, there's a lot of misinformation out there, both, on both sides of it. And the one thing I didn't give up was an addiction just to have it back again. You couldn't pay me to go through one again. With that said, I still struggle with my sobriety, meaning there's days where life just hands you
Just
a
keeps
ton,
hitting you in the head.
and it's like it'd be nice to have a reprieve, meaning the feeling of not feeling a thing for a moment, not the whole lifestyle, not the whole high, not the whole any of it.
It'd be so scary to get back into that world anymore. Holy cow!
I've
It's so
lost
different.
loved ones.
It's so different. from
Not
when we
because of the
left.
drug itself, but because it was laced with fentanyl. And we just lost someone else recently. And it just kind of blew my mind. And I'm like, yeah, you can. Yeah, that's definitely. You remember Grandpa's arthritic hands? Of course, his was arthritic because he worked. How
Kind
old
of the
was
same
he?
reason
Well,
why
he was
mine
born.
was
He was
cramped
born
up.
in 29, and by the time he was 14, he was living on his own and paying his own way.
See all the arthritis
yeah.
in that hand? That's my cutting hand. That's my knife hand for work. Constantly, that
Right.
hand, I can't even make a fist anymore.
Oh yeah, D spa. So that's what my cousin Brian used to do. Remember?
Yeah.
He used to go to day spa, and yes, you're talking a guy, but still, if he could have afforded to do it on a more regular, but I think he went every month or every other month. It was his guilty pleasure, but really, it was therapeutic for him. You remember all that? Until he really began
Until
having
he really took that
extremely
down.
mobility issues. After that, I'm the one that
Did his nails.
did all his foot care, all that. I do the foot care for
He
my
was
grandmother.
non-diabetic, but his pain sensation in his feet was like a diabetic.
Oh, so Myra says a day at the spa would be great. She has muscle, bone, and nerve, and I have all three.
So do I.
They actually checked me out. They thought the bone and nerve pain was because I was, how they put that? It's when you're, at the age to have children. I just can't think of the word. It just won't come to me. And come to find out, no, it wasn't because of that. But now it's just, matter of fact, this last week I've had more, and it's probably because of all
I can
this.
bet if we ever make our way to North Carolina, you and I are going to a day spa together.
And then Robin says, Myra, save me a spot in the jacuzzi. Now, y'all do know. Oh, hey, I need you. No, I'm writing this note, y'all, so someone can harass me later. Our recipe that I sent to someone, we're not going to name who, they know who they are. I need to send the same to our Mississippi friend and not the one here in chat. I can send it to her too, but
So you need me to write down the recipe, or do you remember it?
I remember it.
Okay.
How do you think I sent it to?
We had a recipe. My mother-in-law, when she would sleep, she was diabetic, and she'd sleep with her feet laying on top of each other.
Now, just a second. For one, anything I share is not for the advice for medical.
Yeah, this is not FDA.
I can just
approved
assure you.
treatments.
I can just assure you.
True story.
That
Myra.
not only did we learn it from a career military
surgeon,
army surgeon, who practiced literally up. Was it 24 hours before he died, or was it 48 hours before he
24.
died?
He saw my dad 24 hours before he passed.
The guy literally didn't even make it to retirement, and yes, he was old enough for retirement.
But he was also a 2-pack-a-day smoker, full-blown diabetic.
And had been for years.
And had been for years, and had the huge belly to go with it.
That's what blew my mind.
But you know what? That man never once would harp on you because you were too heavy. He would tell you that you need to lose the weight.
You know what? I'm just going to kind of tell him what it is, because any of them might have it.
Right. So,
but past that, if you're interested, I could send you an email. Past that, I'm going to tell you. The only thing I can assure you is in 2021, when my youngest soldier in combat boots went to go to MEPS, he did not pass qualification with the...
hangnails.
No, stop. Stop throwing words out.
Ingrown toenails.
I know what it is. I'm trying to think of the rank of the NCO. Was it? No, it wasn't a staff sergeant. It was master sergeant.
She was a master.
She was the one operating the unit at that time because of COVID, y'all. So before anyone, at least on the Army side here in Kansas, before they went to MEPS, they had to pass a basic medical overall before they went to MEPS, because for one, I mean, MEPS is in a different state, and two, it could be all for nothing. Well, our youngest in combat boots now, at that time, he had ingrown toenails, and so he didn't pass her physical. And she said
they were going to delay it for like 3 months or something.
Well, because she wanted him to go see a foot specialist and have those addressed. And I mean, the military would have paid for that. They honestly would have, and that was before he ever took the oath. And so I asked the recruiter, I said, could you ask this NCO if we could try something first? And he's like, all right, fill me in. So we did. And so he filled in his NCO. And the thing back was, well, I want photos before, and then I want updates every night with photographs. So we did. My kid was at MEPS less than 14 days later and took their oath the day before the 2020. So it was 2020. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The 2020 election.
So my mother-in-law, she slept with her feet sitting on top of each other, and she ended
like
up with a sore right on the top where her legs crossed.
I dropped something.
Well, the doctor that taught us this recipe was on vacation, and so she saw a different doctor. They sent her through. They did wound care, did all that. 2 weeks later, she goes back to her regular doctor, and he goes, well, wound care got it cleaned up and saved your life. Now I'm going to save your foot, leg, whatever else would end up being affected. And he taught us this recipe for this lotion. A diabetic's wounds do not heal because they get overloaded with sugar. Well, there's a way to take that out. It's Eucerin lotion, so it's expensive.
The Eucerin lotion before inflation in the last year for the bottle, because you have to get the big bottle. red cap, big bottle, not the giant bottle, but the large one. The original is typically, but any of them will work. And then you go to the counter unless you have it in your fridge already. The Lucerne lotion was, I think, 13, something almost 14 without
Looking
tax.
at basically 20 for the next item.
No,
Or is that not way up?
our insulin in the state of Kansas, last time we purchased it, so we would be able to have this lotion, was $34. You do not have to have a prescription for our insulin.
Our insulin's what they give animals too.
But if you're nervous to go to any pharmacy and ask them for it, 'cause you have to ask for it, it's behind the counter because it's required to stay in the refrigerator. And let's just be honest, insulin would be out more than in if it wasn't behind the counter. So you get our insulin.
Any insulin works.
Any
but
insulin
ours the
will-
one you can buy without a
Yeah.
prescription.
Any insulin works, but our insulin's what we, without prescriptions, can get legally. Anyway, so you go home. If you recycle, if you don't, stop by Dollar Tree and grab, what is it, a pint?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pint jar. Go in and make sure everything's clean. You're going to pop that lid off. Of course, when I say
Fill it
pop,
full of urethane lotion. Pop the lid off the insulin. Pour it in. Mix it real good, and it has to be refrigerated.
yeah, it can't. And it can be taken out long enough to. You know what? We have some in the fridge. You want to go get it?
And then you use Dial antibacterial soap. Doesn't matter if it's bar or liquid.
Hey, Claudette, welcome in. We're discussing wound care really quick before we jump off of here and go get in Dawn's back room. Anyways, y'all, if any of y'all are serious, would like it, here's the thing. It's a 50-50. Yes, it does work. Yes, it does take time. Yes, it requires, doing this twice a day on wound care, regardless of where it is. Yes, it would have saved my mom's life for a third or fourth time, but the wound on her leg had a back on it, and she wouldn't let me take her to Colorado to see the doctor that saved her life before. It was COVID. During that time, it was COVID, and she just didn't want to lose her doctor, so he knew about it, but since he wasn't familiar with it, it was
And this stuff lasts forever, literally.
it would be she just didn't want to go against her doctor, and I ended up losing my mom because I wasn't the greatest of advocates during COVID. No, I did not take fault on the rough days. It's a
So
demon.
Claudette, I don't know because you're in Canada. Check into GLP-1s. That's why they put stuff on the GLP-1. It was not about weight loss.
So give me a second. She put I had to quit taking metformin because of the side effects. Now my numbers have been real high. I don't know what to do.
Cut out any added sugar.
So Claudette, you're gonna have to have discipline. Hey, Amy girl, we're getting ready to get off of here, but we jumped into a serious convo. So I'm just trying to loop it up really quick.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
So Claudette, I know it's not easy, but if you have anything with added sugar, go to your pantry, go to your cabinets, look at the list of ingredients. It's actually very shocking at how much stuff is really actually loaded with added sugar or corn syrup. You're going to have to get disciplined. I will tell you it's a rough road. If you do it cold turkey.
The first 2 to 3 weeks, you are going to feel the worst you've ever felt in your life.
The first 8 days was the hardest, and probably because we don't cope very well when we're withdrawing from anything. And so, yeah. But so I've had this a couple months. This is just tape or whatever, but
Over.
oh, sorry.
Well, drips.
I can't put my hand in it, otherwise I contaminate it. That's the other thing. So this is just I used jelly jar. It was clean when we put the contents in it. That big jar, after you mix it all, it'll do 2 or 3 of these. Just so you know, this is a small jelly jar.
Q-tip.
So whatever you do, you're not going to cross contaminate, because once you cross
The
contaminated,
jar's junk.
the jar is junk. So you simply
There you go. I knew, because you're in Canada and I know their healthcare system's completely different than ours. But this stuff works even on a non-diabetic. I've used it on, knife cuts and stuff like that from work.
So quite literally, that just gives you an idea. That's the thickness that you have. It's not layered thick. It doesn't feel heavy or anything. So you're going to clean your wound. That's not going to feel good. I don't think it does for anyone.
You don't even have to really scrub.
But you
a whole
don't
lot.
have to sit there and scrub. But you got to make sure it's clean and antibacterial. Liquid works best.
Liquid's best because you can control the.
Yeah, liquid's best because you can control. But past that, you're gonna pat dry your wound, whatever you're doing. Let it air out a little before you apply, and you're just gonna apply like you would Neosporin. And you're gonna bandage that. You're gonna do that in your morning routine, and then you're gonna do it again before you go to bed. New Band-Aid, new, the whole works. Take a picture. Seriously, y'all, if you try it, take a picture first. That away, because sometimes it can look dramatically improved overnight. It really can. It depends on the wound.
All right. We are at
So
4:53.
all right, y'all. I'm gonna head out. I'm already getting in Dawn's back room. If any of y'all are interested, drop me an email. My email's all over my channel, and I'll give you the whole basics and all that.
And how did your toe heal, Myra?
And Claudette, hit me up, girl. We can discuss ways to help. Get your numbers down. Remember protein. Peanut butter, for real. Peanut butter, you'll have to look, because some companies do put added sugar in
Find the
theirs.
natural peanut butters.
Find the natural, non-added sugar peanut butter. Peanut butter is going to help bring your numbers down. It's not going to be like, if you're in the 30s or 40s, it's not going to bring you down into the 1s. But it shuts off that signal. That goes back to the basics.
I was told by a doctor one time that 9 out of 10 people that have kidney failure is caused due to out of control blood sugars.
And we can discuss this more in our back porch event. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. Thanks for supporting our channel and everyone else's. I said I'd give a giveaway. I'm going to go through who commented on scooters over there versus who was here. And we'll do a giveaway probably during the back porch event. Love y'all. Catch you later. See you over there, or see you in another chat. Have a good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.